The owner here to complete the projects at Skyline. Here we are. We have Felicia and Patrick with me. We have completed their dream home.
Thank you, Thomas. So I'm Patrick and this is Felicia. And we had talked to many interior designers before settling on White Corporation. And Thomas and team did a great job. There's a lot of things that we can cover, but 4 particular things that we're going to, I think, really stood out is how did they capture the right vision, their use of really quality materials, the execution and their contractors, and fourth, how we went beyond the apartment and leveraging Thomas's and team's style for design and choosing the right furniture, the right colors to make our home our dream home. So around the first one, that I think Thomas knew already after the second meeting that there was this right connection. And in the that first meeting, Thomas, we had met a number of designers, and they were always asking, well, what do you want? What kind of colors? Do you like choice A, B, and C? Yeah. There's always some historical projects that they'll show us. But I thought you were very different. You not just had your portfolio that we were flipping through, but you asked, how do you want to feel in your home? Tell us about what you like to do for vacation, and tell us wanted to share about our relationship as well with some of your questions.
I think a lot of times, a lot of ID, they always ask like, these are the few different concepts that I've done in the previous projects, and which is the one that suits you. And we are very fortunate to meet Thomas. And on the first time, he didn't ask any of these questions, but he emphasized a lot on, okay, how about tell me more about the both of you, how's your relationship, where do you all normally go on holiday, what kind of holiday, why do you choose this kind of holiday, like go to the beach, the kind of resort, how do you define a cozy home, when you come home, what do you want to see? So the first time when he saw him was a lot of discussion about understanding the both of us, and I thought that was actually very important, because then it comes to the second meeting when he shared with us why he designed certain things and why he come up with certain concepts. It was very relevant to both of our lifestyles.
I think it was that second meeting, right? We can always talk and Thomas can capture the words and the emotions that we're searching for, but it's that in that second meeting at his office, showing us some mock-ups of what he's envisioning. And those mock-ups, it translates that not only is he hearing, but he can also show it back to us in terms of this is what I'm thinking and why this field would work for you. And I think after that second meeting, we were in.
We were sold.
I was remembering that when both of them showed me the pictures of their holidays, where both of them was actually jumping at the beach. And that moment captured me a lot, because they say that they want to put this poster into their one of their walls here. So I was so excited with it, because finally we get some customer that really appreciate design, that they want to put emotional touch onto the design. So we created a character walls that is actually showing them of their silhouette of them jumping at the beach. But instead of showing the beach design, we actually put it into words. And Felicia, I still remember that I chased for you to give me all the wordings here, which having all these fantastic wordings, like for example, one of the best things I see here is love. I think that actually excites me, and capturing both of you all, that you are such a lovely customer, that we know that both of you will love each other so much that you need this wall to actually capture every day, on walks and
how you feel.
Yeah, how you feel.
And so all of those things lead us to the second point of the use of materials and quality. Right? So we invested a lot of time. We really want this to be our dream home, and so using the right materials, the high quality, so that when you come home, you really do feel it's an escape.
Yeah, I think we also heard a lot of horror stories about the design was good, but the material that's being used in a house may not be as good as you expected. So what Thomas actually assured us is that he gave us samples of, like for example, for the shoe room, for the back room, for the wardrobe, what kind of materials that he's going to really use for the doors. And and the mechanism. So I felt very assured, and I feel that that is also very important. And the end result is exactly what he has shown me. So I'm very, very happy.
And when it comes to a particular person's bag cabinet and shoe cabinet and when we have the clothes, right? You know, it's very common that our friends come over and don't even realize that those cabinets are cabinets because it's all hidden, and it really looks like a stone wall, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah. Still remember that when Felicia told me that the first impression that I want for the wardrobes is to make sure that I want it to look flush. It doesn't look like wardrobes.
It doesn't look like a wardrobe.
Yes. And I was saying, oh, it's something very not easy to do it.
Yeah,
But
Thomas's eyes light up. Oh, right challenge.
But it's challenge. that excites me a lot. That really do, you know, spur me to really do think of something for this couple. Yeah.
And so I think the third point is a lot comes down to the execution, and we've heard some horror stories where the contractors just don't get it right, and a lot of defects. And I'm really happy to say we didn't have to deal with that. Right? I think the quality execution was really good, and you gave us contact to some of your, contractor coordinators who did a brilliant job.
Yeah. And anytime when we wanted them to show us what is the progress and all that, you can just pop by the house and I see them really doing the job. And I think two of the challenge for this whole project was the bar behind us, where it used to be a study room. We knocked it down and we wanted to build a sink. But the sink, we actually have to carry the plumbing system from the nearest bathroom. And Thomas and his team actually spent a lot of time to look for the marble, the same marble as my current, to match the current house flooring. And I'm very glad that they managed to do it. And secondly, for the bathroom, we also have certain challenges where we wanted to change into automatic toilet bowl, and Thomas was so Thomas was saying, oh, but the plumbing system is going to be a challenge, we are not sure, can we really do it? But with his team and us, we all sat down and we discussed, we managed to find a way, and they managed to actually do up a pretty good job for the two bathroom. And I think for me personally, when I go to Toto shop, right, with the salesperson reassuring me that, oh, your ID is Thomas, then you don't have to worry because they know how to do it. So to me, I'm like, okay, very good.
Yeah,
good.
That was a real moment where
like,
when the Toto salesperson says, oh, it's Thomas's team? Okay, you're fine. And we're like, oh,
Thomas,
good choice.
Like, Thomas from White Clock. And he said, yeah, Thomas, right? Thomas from White Clock. Yeah. Then don't worry, you can just buy it. He knows how to install it. I'm like, oh, okay, wow.
This is the high-end toilet.
Oh, thank you.
I'm flattered. But I'm flattered. I mean, I do my very best for the client. Even though whether whatever happens, I know. Of course, I'm proud to be professional, but for sure is that what is the end result is the best. Is to make sure that we do the very best for the client and make sure that they deserve the very best. That's all in my heart that I'm taking. That's all.
Yeah.
I think along that passion, Thomas, the last thing I really want to call out is it went beyond the apartment. Right? So beyond just the design of the apartment, the use of materials, but the whole home is a whole experience, from the furniture to the electronics to everything, right? And when we were choosing the furniture that we've had, the use of colors, the use of style, we would text him and he would help us, and he, in some cases, come shop with us to make sure that the whole experience came together into our dream house.
Actually,
and that's above and beyond what we were expecting.
Yeah, and actually, Thomas, you really have eye for design. Like the kind of material, when you see it, you touch it, you can say, I don't think this material is right. And I really love it because that is very important. Some people may think it's just fabric, but actually it's not true. The thickness, the surface, how it looks like. I think you have the eye for details and
when
the
you touch
design.
it, it goes, oh, I don't think this is right.
It's very good. So I'm very happy that you actually get involved in all the selection of the house furnitures, the material of the curtains, how we want to do up our bedroom. I think it's fantastic.
Thomas, we couldn't be happier. And,
Yeah.
I mean, for those who might be watching this, my only advice is be really open and honest around what you want, right? help enable him with both your ideas, your vision, and your honesty.
I think one important thing about doing up a home, right, is that during the renovation, there are bound to be hiccup and there are bound to be certain delays. We went through the same thing, and most importantly for us, when we see the end result, right, it's so beautiful. All this hiccup doesn't really matter anymore. And so I think working with IDs, that is also one of my experience, that okay, we really just need to share the same goal, move into the same direction, and then have the greatest result for your home. Yeah.
And it was really good. In our case, we were also doing it during Christmas, New Year's, and just before Lunar New Year, right? And still very modern, very modern.
I'm very, very glad and happy that I'm being able to complete these projects, even though I have extension of time. Just like what Felicia said, it's not always smooth sailing. In design industry, it's always filled with a lot of unforeseeable circumstances or even challenges, time delay. This is part of the parcel of doing design work. But the most important thing is that we want to approach a client and to explain to them that the main intention is to make sure that the home end result is going to be good. So we want to make that assurance to them, and they trusted me and my team. That is the most important thing, is that they trusted both me and my team to enable to prolong the projects a little bit longer without letting them feel upset. And ultimately, I'm happy. I mean, I'm really glad to have them as my client. Really, it's a fantastic journey together with you all.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
so let's cheers to a
Yeah.
fantastic,
Yes.
well accomplished. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.